Welcome back, everyone, to Pineleaf as the Lore Master, and we are here in the Redhorn Lodes at the resource instance location. This is the prospecting resource instance, and since I'm a prospector, I thought I should really run these to pick up whatever nice resources there happens to be in here. So let's speak with Alwar and see what he has for us.
We have little time to speak. Great events have been set in motion.
The Redhorn Lodes are a frightening place to be in. Orcs to the left, Deep Claws to the right, and Gredbig right in the middle. Were it not my duty to the Iron Garrison, I would not even attempt to reclaim TitanBar. But to me, duty is everything, so here I am. In order to reclaim this mine, we will need to defeat the leadership of the intruders within. Defeat the enemy, be it orc or beast, which leads the intruders within. Doing so should position us to be more ably reclaim TitanBar in the name of the Iron Garrison, so therefore we'll accept that, and
We have seen naught of Durin's bane. Be wary if you journey into Moria.
of course, defeat the intruders in here is vague because it's random as to what it's going to be. We'll see which one we get, and
Abide here a moment, and speak with me.
our purpose here in TitanBar is manifold. While it is most important for us to reclaim this mine in the name of the Iron Garrison, we also need to use it to bolster our supplies. While history warns us that the consequences of delving deeper than we should, we cannot simply be content to reclaim, we must expand. And to do that, we need equipment. What better place to find mining tools than a once functioning mine? Yeah, alright. Let's go inside. I've got 1 hour to do this, and I'm pretty sure I'll be done well within an hour.
With lessons newly learned, the Iron Garrison cautiously seeks a local supply of ore within Moria to supplement their caravans. Within the Redhorn Lodes, out of the sight of the orcs, they have discovered TitanBar. With high hopes, they delve into this long-abandoned mine, being always cautious not to delve too deep.
And it looks like we've got goblins for this round in here. I've seen goblins in here, and I've also remember getting deep claws and cave claws in here, if I'm recalling correctly. And usually you get pairs, so I was a bit of surprise I only had one in that last setup there. But usually you have two different types at each section for the various monsters that are in the location. And it looks like we also, of course, have some Skarn, and we need to collect all of that because that's what we're here for, right? All these resources. Alright, I guess that's to be later because this can be an intricate mine going up and down and all that fun stuff. Now, the resource instances in Moria are the first ones that were created. So they go back to the release of Moria and all of that. And many of the ones that came out since then are pretty much based on the idea that was sent here, though some of them have changed in their style over the years, especially some of the more recent ones where they've done more variation on it than they had done on the past, as far as I could tell. But other places that have resource instances was Hootbold, which was quite a bit after the ones in Moria, so it had at first seemed like the entire idea had been dropped and was no longer going to be utilized, but then they popped up in Hootbold, and then they popped up again in Fangorn. See, Hootbold, Fangorn, I remember those. Here are the tools I'm supposed to be looking for. Let's see, what's the next one after Fangorn? I can't remember the next set after that. I do know, of course, that you have the ones that are in let's see, Hootbolt, Fanghorn. Because we had the ones, of course, at the Black Gate you had those. At the Towers of Teeth were resource instances. Yeah, alright. Okay, I guess that must be downstairs. Okay. And then in Mordor, they're a little bit different than the ones I had seen earlier because I think the way the resources went are different on that, because the traditional ones, the original ones, you had one type of resource that was there. So there was one that was, in this case, we have, there we go. Maybe I should have just thrown on the anti-stun for that. I think that was an impending stun anyway, so that wouldn't have bothered me all that much if I had just put on the anti-stun, right? Now, is that a... Okay. That's the problem, is you keep on doing all this stuff vertically all around you that it's hard to tell when you're above a resource and not. This is one of the things about these okay. And of course I'm always going after one that's just past another one. Alright. The patrollers tend to be singletons usually. Will you quit that? Whew, boy. Ah, and we have them. I don't like the ones for the Red Horn Loads ones, the ones for oh, there it is. There's the Scarred. For the prospecting all that much. I've always found them let's see if I can get the right word. I guess overly intricate because I always get lost in them and stuff like that, and I don't have any trouble like that with the ones for the Scholar or for the Wood. But if you're a prospector, you've got a little choice on the matter because that's what you want, right? So in Hoodbold, you also have them by the resource you're doing. In Fangorn, I believe it's the same way. You have different ones for it. I'm trying to remember what we did for the ones in the Black Gate, whether there was a specific one or not that they're for you, because in Mordor you have a lot of these chests that provide you resources in general, so therefore you get, I think you were able to get just about any type of resource out of them. And they also broke a few other of the old rules concerning resource instances. So they're giving me a little touch up on that. I don't know yet if there are any in Mirkwood, but I would say the fact that we've already got some at that level of crafting and at that level of XP, I suspect there wouldn't be any, because there'd be less of a need for it in that case. And there you go. Now, with the Moria ones, at least the last time I checked, even though you could do these once a day, I believe the reset on them is at a shorter time span. I'll have to check. I forgot to check that when I first entered, because when you enter, it gives you the lockout time, which I believe is the time in which all the resources will get. Okay, I got that done. I got that done. So the only thing I really need is the boss. And of course to collect all these resources, which are probably going to take me a bit of time to do. So let's head down this way. Oh, no, not that way. Where? Yeah, I told you I get lost in this place. I wasn't joking when I said that. So this way, down here. Oh yeah, obviously it's a new place because there are goblins here, and I've killed all the goblins before. No, they don't respawn or anything like that. At least not in the hour that you're doing it, because you're given a 1 hour deadline. So you can only do this once a day, and the resources have their own respawn rate. So the idea there was, alright, this is a way you can get resources, but there are limits in which they'll let you grab them. Okay, it's impending poison, not impending stun. Let me just get rid of this. So that way if I'm in get into combat quickly, I won't have to worry about that again. Let's see, up this way? Yeah, oh yeah, definitely up that way. Die! And whack! Because I presume this is one of those, let's see, applied on expiration if in combat. Alright. Well, if I'm going to, yeah, I'll let it expire when I'm not in combat. There you go. That's another way of handling it. If I were Warden, I'd probably just have used my cure skill, but the Warden's skill is a lot easier to use. I think was it near the end? You have a twinge that gnaws in the back of your mind, right? The usual thing. They just can't be specific on the type of monster you're facing. That's right, in some of the later ones, they do not change the monsters. I know they did it in the ones for Hootbold, where they had different types that you could run into. And I believe that, yeah, that's right, in the ones for Mordor and the ones for the Black Gate, they don't change them up. It's the same monsters, it's the same scenarios that you're given in there. But you do have the advantage of you'll be able to use them daily, and I think I found the boss, and that looks like a Bat Keeper. Now, the boss is the same regardless of the... not regardless of the... based on the... now that's an impending stun. In other words, the goblins will always have the Bat Keeper. There, let's see. Let's stun the Overseer. And just take care of the bats. Yeah, bats are rather straightforward to take care of. That way I don't have him to worry about. Just a little bit of lightning to throw on them. Good. We are all done. So I just need to collect a little bit more Skarn. Ooh, rich Skarn in the boss room. And then I'll be ready to return and check out the other one. Now, while I don't need to kill the rest of the goblins that are in here, if I want to get all of the Skarn that's in here, I should do a little bit more thorough check out about what's in here. And there's also an extra backpack here, because there are more backpacks than you need. I think when you have little quests like that in the ones in Mordor and around there, you don't get extras. Oh well. But there seems to be a little bit more down there. Now, how do I get to that Skarn? Let's see what he says about this.
These halls will be great once more.
I feared you would not return when I sent you into TitanBar. The silence seemed to indicate your falling to one of those within the mine. But seeing you're here now, unscathed and victorious, means that my fears were thankfully unfounded. Your aid in this matter was much appreciated, so you get an Iron Garrison resource token. And
these halls will be great once more.
You are quite efficient with a weapon, my friend. I could not have done the job better myself. With the intruders in disarray, we can further secure TitanBar For your efforts, you deserve this token. What? Yes, I know. It doesn't look like much, but because... well, it isn't. And things left behind.
The shadow of Mordor will not long fill the halls of Khazad-dûm.
While not many, these toolkits will aid us in our future efforts across Khazad-dûm. Until the forges are stoked and the ores flowing, we must make do with what was left behind, right? And now we can come back in 11 hours 22 minutes, which is 11 hours 22, which is 3 a.m. And of course, we have the other one, which is still available, and that will be the level 38 one. Now, what do I do with these tokens? Since I've got extra time for this one, and I don't have time to do the other one right now, we might as well go through this on this episode.
The time has come to drive forth the orcs from our kingdom.
You can get, for 6, you can get a key, which opens up this box of resources. This is good if you don't have a matching, say if you're not a prospector and you want to get some resources out of this, then you could turn them in and maybe get some resources that way. And you could also get boxes, and so we have here some, for 6 you can get some pile of ilex wood. You know, this is if you want various ones. So here you can get some ilex wood, lesser cosmex, magnificent hides, scarn. So therefore, if you want to get ones that don't match your resource type, you can just turn in 60s and you get a box of that. But since scarn's one of them, of course you can also get for extra of that. And you can also get some relics, as you can see, or some heritage runes. Or of course the key to open that up. So if you want heritage runes, you can get 1 for 1, but that's only worth 4,000, so that's not much on the matter. But when I do the other one, I'll be able to have 6 in all and be able to do that. And also it's a way to get some resources, at least if you're on the off day when those things haven't respawned. Now over here we have an elf for the Gala
What do
3.
you need?
Now here you can get a Lothorian gold leaf for 3 of these. So that's one way to get gold leaves if you want them. But now we have the other one. And let's see what he has to say.
If we are to find Mithra in Khazad-dûm, we will first have to deal with the orcs.
It seems that no matter where we go within Khazad-dûm, all we find are infested delvings or rubble. Even Ful Zakar, a mine that is fairly well hidden, does not escape incursion. If you have spoken with my companion Alwar, you will know that he favors the decisive strike at the leaders of the intruders within our minds. And in that, I agree with him. Deep within Ful Zakar, I suspect there will be one such enemy, one who holds sway over the rest. Defeat that leader, and you will sow disarray among the rest. And of course, the Iron Garrison has created a diversion, drawing the bulk of the intruders from the depths of Ful Zakar. They will be permitting you access for 1 hour, during which time you will be able to enter and exit Ful Zakar freely to complete the tasks bestowed upon you. However, after the hour has passed, the Iron Garrison can no longer guarantee your safety, and thus will bar access until they can once again muster an office to draw the enemy from Ful Zakar, and of course that will be the following day, or at least after 3 o'clock in the morning U.S. Eastern Time, and of course defeat the leader, Miner's
We
Companion.
have seen naught of Durin's bane. Be wary if you journey into Moria.
As the Iron Garrison works to reclaim Khazad-dûm, we are also working to re-establish functioning mines. Our primary concern when we first entered was reclamation, and because of that, we did not come prepared for any sort of prospecting activities. To that end, we need to bolster our supply of mining equipment with what we can find within Ful Zakar. Primarily, we are looking for pickaxes. Scavenging is not an activity that we are proud of, but we do what we must with our limited supply within. So therefore we must collect some pickaxes. And finally,
Abide here a moment and speak with me.
Our and I have tasked to establish a safe prospecting location here in the Redhorn Lodes. Our scouts discovered Gafar Fam and the 2 mines within it. As we arrived, we split our duties. My chief goal is now to empty Full Zahar of the threats and reestablish it as a viable prospecting location. It seems, unfortunately, that we are not the only ones who are interested in Full Zahar, and therefore must convince those within to leave. Being so close to the orcish camps of the Redhorn Lodes, I am hard pressed to leave my post in fear of losing to the vile creatures. Were I to offer you compensation, would you be willing to go inside? So therefore, we will of course go inside, but that's for the next episode of Bunny Plays, the Lore Master.